The Morning Edge with Fox 2's Vic Faust, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp, and Eric Johnson.
The Morning Edge starts now.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. It is a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. May 4th is our time. It is The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Hope everybody's doing all right today. Does everybody like cloudy, rainy, and 50 degrees in May?
Nope.
At least if you're listening in Missouri. We have listeners all across the country. Hopefully it's better where you live. But guess what? Next week, a continuous run of 90-degree days.
I'll take it.
Because there is no spring anymore, as we know. There just isn't any spring. Hey, good morning, everybody. Chris Knight's here, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust with Fox 2. If there was ever a packed day, we've got a lot. We're in one of those runs where people are open. We're always trying to get the guest and the best guest for you. By the way, may the 4th be with you as well. I told you last week we had things to look forward to, like the 4th of July, May the 4th be with you day. Cinco de Mayo is when, Angela?
May 5th.
That's right. May 5th is tomorrow.
Fun stories.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. So anyway, we've got things to look forward to. Today, coming up at 8:20, we're going to break again at 8:15. Share the show on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper, because at 8:20, we're going to talk with Brandon Bosick. He's the director of litigation for the Southeastern Legal Foundation, the group that is going after Webster Groves School District. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, and others, for these surveys. They're out there. And by the way, I was also sent surveys that are being given out in the Francis Howell School District, but the difference is at these middle schools that were asking the same questions about sexuality and political preference to middle school kids, the parents were told in advance, is this something your child can participate in?
Ah, I see.
That did not happen at Webster Grove. So we'll talk to Brandon about that. Glad to get him on this morning. Then at 8:45, Missouri State Senator Bob Onder joins us to talk about the election integrity bill that was finally passed. Believe it or not, the conservatives in the state of Missouri actually agreed on something last night. I'm not trying to have too much fun at your guys' expense, but Missouri is the only state in the country without a congressional map right now because Republicans can't agree with Republicans. That's just the facts. That's what's going on right now. But they actually did get their integrity bill together last night. Bob Onder is going to join us to talk about that. At 9 o'clock, one of my favorite all-time guests. He's just awesome every time he comes on, and he'll take your questions today. That's Congressman Rodney Davis from Illinois. If there was ever a time to talk about things that are going on in D.C., what's happening behind the scenes, it's a great time to talk with Rodney. He'll give us a call. He got a new haircut, too. You should look him up. Check him out. I think he looks like he's like 15 years old. I was going to tease him about this. He got a new stylish haircut. He's allowed. You don't have to. I'll never forget. That's a funny story, guys. When I first came to St. Louis, people didn't know what to think about me. I'm not trying to be just. In other markets around the country, your look, your hair, your suits, it's very, very, very much more progressive. And St. Louis is like a time vault. I can't, and my hair was a lot more what I would say, quote, cool, hip.
What exactly does cool and hip mean?
It was more of a designer cut, shorter in some places, longer in others, spiky in some places, because we were used to seeing either no hair in St. Louis or very white hair or parted on the side, comb over hair. And
that guy?
Yeah. Is that a new one? Is that a new?
I don't know. I mean, that's the only picture on his Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll talk about him. We'll get that going. But anyway, I got some emails and texts in this town. Hey, what's up with your hair, man? And I was like, okay, why don't we get out of the 1950s St. Louis, because it's like a time warp around here. Start dressing like it's 2016 when I came, or whatever, in the hair. But anyway, Rodney got a new haircut. We'll talk to Rodney coming up at 9 o'clock. Can't wait to talk with him. Tomorrow, We'll be talking with Steve Ellman. That's already booked. Possibly Dave Schatz, another senatorial candidate. We have just been packed this week. All kinds of guests. That's what we try to do. We're also going to break at 8:15 if you're just joining us. 8:20, Brandon Bosick, the Director of Litigation for the Southeastern Legal Foundation. 8:45, Bob Onder. 9 o'clock, Congressman Rodney Davis to go about all of that stuff there. Todd just says, I was watching Fox on a layover in Chicago last week, and Vic and Mandy put those two to shame. That's right, Todd. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Todd also says Republicans need to stand strong on this map in the state of Missouri. Democrats don't deserve an extra seat. Very controversial subject. We'll talk to him about that as well today because Bob is one of the people who is involved in that, one of the state senators involved. Okay, a lot of people jumping in early this morning because we've got so much going on. I am curious, Angela. Did you watch the Cardinals last night?
I did not. I was watching the Nashville Predators game,
Oh,
which
my
also
God.
which also was awful to watch, by the way.
That was a great game, wasn't it?
Yeah, just
that was awful.
Lock it up. I told Chris and I debated each other on the phone about a week ago. I said, Chris, nobody has any shot against Colorado Avalanche this year. Oh, yeah, they do.
The Blues do. Sure.
No, they don't.
Oh, absolutely.
In Colorado, if the Blues had home ice advantage, maybe
Blues are better on the road than they are at
if
home.
Eric will pay me the $1,000 that he owes me,
I'll probably have to bet you.
I'll bet you.
But I'm going to bet you more than 1,000.
But you're Mr. Moneybags. Then we'll go.
Well, I don't know about that.
2,000 is the most that I could bet, as long as I get 1,000 from Eric.
Yeah, I don't want Eric's 1,000.
No,
though,
it's not
because
Eric's
not gonna
1,000.
be-
It's
yeah,
not
but-
Eric's. It
Yeah,
would
but you're
be
going to have
mine.
a lot of work to do
What
to
do you
get
mean?
me dollar bills.
What is happening right now? So are you guys?
I don't want you. Just need to get me 1,000 out of your bank or more, whatever we
but
bet.
I'm not going to.
He might give you like 10,000 or 100,000 pennies or something.
I'll
I don't
take
want
it.
that.
He's
I'll take
smirking.
it.
Eric walked in
I'll
and
take
is
it.
smirking at
I
that.
don't want that.
I'll take whatever Eric. I told Eric I'll take $100. I'll take $10 a month from Eric. We'll put it on a payment plan, interest free because I'm a nice guy.
That's right. When there's exactly.
Eric, I would love a wheelbarrow. But anyway, if we get that, Chris, I would bet you. I'll take your bet that if the Blues and Avalanche meet up, that the
they will.
Avalanche win that series. Only because the Avalanche have home ice. They are freaking phenomenal. You just can't beat them at home. And they have been that way all season long. And it sucks because I hate the
I'll
Avalanche.
be glad to take your money.
Everything about the Avalanche I hate. Okay. Eric Johnson's here now. Chris and I. Eric, did you hear the lineup we have today, buddy? I hope you're ready, locked and loaded with all your questions.
Bob Onder, bring it. And we have
Rodney Davis.
bring it.
And then your boy Brandon Bosick coming up in about 11 minutes about the survey situation.
Yep. And Donald Trump had a great night last night.
Donald
Did he,
Trump
did he
did.
not? Did he
People
not?
didn't think he still had power.
I'm telling you
AOC
what.
went down the
Whoa.
tubes like a bubble in the shower.
Angela, what happened was
Thank you, because I'm confused.
Oh, Angela.
I'm sorry. Y'all know I still don't watch the news. I get my news directly from Vic Faust.
True story.
J.D. Vance won a Senate seat in Ohio last night. J.D. Vance is a popular candidate because he was heavily backed by
Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, just what was it? 3-4 weeks ago, he only had a couple points on the board.
And he
did.
He
True
came
story.
Out of nowhere.
Donald
It
Trump
was-
comes in, endorses him.
It's probably one of the more remarkable things that's happened in Ohio when it comes to
Yeah.
that level of. Now, a lot of people don't follow that, but in the state of Ohio, they do.
Right, for sure.
And it was like, oh, who's this J.D. Vance guy that's come on in the last 3 weeks?
Which was an adversary to Trump.
Yep.
That's another thing we learned is that you can be.
wait a minute.
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Oh yeah. He was an anti-Trumper, and then he kind of made amends. They kind of got together. That's one thing we also learned. You can have a war with Trump, and as long as you go say you're sorry, and he says he's sorry to you, game on. That you can be friends again. So that's something. Another thing we kind of learned. How many rhinos out there are there that got into the Never Trumperville and are going to be able to say, Donald, I went down to Mar-a-Lago. I'm sorry. He goes, no problem. Let me get a few of my guys and help you out up there in Pennsylvania or wherever you're running.
Robert Peterball says Eric thinks his $1,000 bet that he lost is the same as DraftKings, where the first 1K is covered. They do that.
I like that.
That's funny. That's
I
good
like
stuff.
That. I like that.
What is Mark Drew Harris talking about? Someone on this post is going to owe me $100 for saying Albert will get to 7 home runs. Oh, Mark and I were saying, wait a minute. No, I wasn't. Mark said Albert would not get to 700. And I guess somebody did. Maybe not on the show, but on the post.
Mark Harris goes,
But
Trump
that's right.
didn't even know his name. You know what? That doesn't even matter. Shaquille O'Neal sponsors all kinds of products. He doesn't even know what they do. It doesn't matter. They sell anyway. That's Donald Trump.
I'll take the pennies.
Hmm?
I'll take the pennies in the wheelbarrow.
You're getting that. That's
Yeah,
what
but-
we're doing.
Okay,
And-
I'm sorry. There has
That
to
is
be a
gonna be
lot
funny,
of setup
man.
to that.
And
I
if
need a
you do
whole
that,
video
Eric,
of you wheeling
That's
this
going to
in.
be funny.
Eric, if you do that, I'll try to make it somehow a TV. I'll try to do a story like a kicker or something.
Dude.
We got
seriously.
That'll be your first TikTok.
On
We got
Friday.
to do it.
Yes.
Why don't you let me wheel it into Channel
Yes,
2
that's
at 5
it.
o'clock?
Yes.
On the air.
I promise you, if you do this, we'll make this fun.
We got to do something fun with
No,
it.
you're- well, I thought we were going to go to the casino, and Eric, we
No,
never.
that's not fun.
You
I
and your
thought he was
kids will
gonna-
be
you
rolling
love
it
the
up.
casino.
I thought he was going to
Yeah,
buy
but-
me $500 $2 lottery tickets.
No, we're trying to think of
no.
something fun, Vic.
We got to do something fun.
something fun. Something
I'm
fun.
trying to push this so we can do something fun with it. The wheelbarrow with pennies, I love, and I'll try. I would
Wouldn't
do
that
something.
be cool?
Yeah, no, I'd love. I'd want to make it fun. I agree
You and
with
your
guys.
kids could be like rolling them up so that you can take them to the bank, and you could be like, it's 5:15 on Fox 2 News. We'll be back after these messages, and they cut away to your kids putting pennies in the little.
Also, I'm gonna need that video as well as when you take. I don't know how many rolls of pennies that is.
I don't either. Let's find out, Angela.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Maybe-
that is
maybe-
awesome. Hey, also because we're I can't say that phrase, but we're packed. We're packed today with the show. We were something alls to the walls.
Oh, okay.
Balls to the wall. Just
Thank you
say
for
it.
saying it.
Except.
I was very happy I saw Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this morning. They announced it. Eminem going to the Rock and Roll Hall.
I can deal with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with
well,
that.
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
It blew my. He's only the second rapper to ever be alive and be inducted at the same time. The only other guy that did that with, or who got elected, Jay-Z, his
Oh,
boy.
Wow. Okay.
The other Rock and Roll 2022 class revealed this morning includes Pat Benatar.
Mhm.
Eric's going to lose his mind on this one.
Okay.
Duran Duran.
I like Duran Duran.
But I love it. I didn't
Come
think you
on.
would.
Her name is Rio.
The Eurythmics.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton, of course, who we knew that
Did
was
she
happening.
get in?
Well, she was elected. She always said she didn't want to take it. Maybe
She better show up. Now it's a bitch slap in the face if you don't show up.
Carly Simon and Lionel Richie. What a class.
Really?
What do you mean, really?
Uh-oh. I don't think he likes the Lionel part.
Lionel deserves to be. Look at the.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you were
yes.
pausing on, Eric? Lionel?
I'm the whole
Eric,
class.
remember
really.
Oh, okay.
the first
The whole
albums that I bought
class.
when I was a kid? The first two albums were
You know,
Van
it's
Ha-
called
were Van
the,
Halen.
It's
and
called the
Lionel
Rock
Richie.
and Roll Hall of Fame. At some point, you need to have a rock band in the class. All classes need to have at least one representation of rock music in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction
I
ceremony.
mean, look. think
Come
about
on,
this.
man.
He's-
Sweet dreams are made for these or whatever. That's your rock stuff. Come on, I'm done.
Eminem's 49, but he's had 15 Grammys, 17 Billboard Music Awards, a pair of diamond selling albums, an Oscar, and numerous Best Rapper citations.
I didn't know he was born in Missouri until like 2 months
right.
ago.
St. Joe, baby, if you want to call that Missouri.
I do.
I worked there
Counts.
for 2 years. Dear God, what a
That's
terrible place
that's
to
where
work.
Jesse James lived.
Well, or
couple
pass,
Jesse James, the
or pass through.
Couple
In the
all up.
cave?
Yeah, in the cave. Jesse
Okay.
What
James.
was that a
those
gun?
were guns.
Were those
Yeah.
gun shooters?
Those were guns.
How do you hit anything like that?
Oh my God, what was that? Okay, we got to take a break. We come back with Brandon Bosick at 8:20. Bob Onder about the election integrity bill that was passed in Missouri last night. 9:00. Congressman Rodney Davison will take your questions about D.C. We're packed. We're gonna have some fun today. We'll also talk more about this Roe v. Wade situation as well today. It is The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Back with more right after this.
Edge Morning Traffic. Check of the morning commute. I-70 in St. Charles County is in good shape. No delays from Wentzville through O'Fallon, moving into St. Peters and then over the Blanchette Bridge. 6440 also in good shape headed out of Lake St. Louis. Some slow-moving traffic, Highway 40 east through the Chesterfield area, then slow again from Lindbergh over through Hanley. 170 southbound jams at Ladue Road down to 6440. 270 westbound slow from construction in North St. Louis County from 367 west over to Washington Elizabeth. And then watch for a crash northbound I-55 to Lindbergh in the exit lane. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose. That's your Edge Morning Traffic.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data when you can get unlimited for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
You work from home, and now home can be anywhere you want with an RV from Bill Thomas Camper Sales. RV travel is the ultimate social distancing for your family, and you know what you have with you and where it's been. For 55 years locally, family-owned, Bill Thomas Camper Sales has had the highest quality for every budget, and they have guidelines in place for your safe shopping experience. Travel in comfort and safety with a visit to Bill Thomas Camper Sales in Wentzville. For details, hours, and directions, go to btcamper.com.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
Hey, it's Shanny from Mascots Bar and Grill, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a place to watch the game with friends, Cardinals, Blues, whatever, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. If you're looking for a place for happy hour, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. Heck, grab some friends, get a table, and play rock and roll bingo every night and twice on Saturdays at Mascots Bar and Grill. You can win some great prizes. Seriously, great prizes at Mascots for playing rock and roll bingo. And it's absolutely free to play. Wednesday night is ladies' night, and you won't believe the specials they have going on there. Come by for lunch. They're the home of the legendary lunch special. You go tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want that big old burger and fries for just $5, and they're going to give it to you fresh and hot, just the way you ordered it, and it's so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. If you go once, you will go again and again. Mascots Bar and Grill, home of the legendary lunch special.
Hey, Brian Dawson here. Folks, Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction is a roofing company dedicated to excellence and quality. We are very familiar with working with insurance as well as uninsured roofing needs. We do room additions, small roofs, big roofs, steep roofs, flat roofs, residential and commercial. So hey, if you have any roofing or construction needs, call me, Brian Dawson.
Learn more by visiting BrianDawsonRoofing.com or call 636-465-9465. That's 465-9465.
Shop local with Revolution Mattress in O'Fallon. When you come in, you talk to the owners, Kevin and Lisa. No high pressure and no salesperson stalking you through the store. Kevin and Lisa will help you pick out the perfect mattress for your body and sleep position. Most of their products are made in America with a 10-year non-prorated warranty. See why Revolution Mattress has 5-star ratings on Google and Facebook reviews. Revolution Mattress, locally owned on Main Street in O'Fallon.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Oh, I love it. Welcome back to the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. It is the Edge. Eric Johnson. Are you playing your bass or are you playing the drums?
Drums.
Chris Knight's here. Angela Sharp. In honor to Duran Duran on this Wednesday morning, being elected into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, along with some guy named Eminem. Rio.
That's the coolest bass line
Wait,
from the
that
80s.
that was the Rio you guys have been talking about?
This is Rio.
Oh, yeah. I don't know
This is just the
one, then.
start of Rio.
This one doesn't sound familiar at all to me.
Oh, we'll get with that. Braden Bosick joins us. He's the director of litigation for the Southeastern Legal Foundation. Did you think that was your come-in music, Duran Duran, Braden?
If it was, I was thrilled by it. Now, did somebody just say they didn't recognize Rio?
That would be me. That is
Hey,
correct, sir.
Braden,
Give her hell.
Braden,
Give
it's,
her hell.
Braden, it's not her fault. She is a graduate of the Webster Grove School District.
That's also true, dude.
Actually, it's because of her age. She's a little bit younger, Braden. We appreciate you joining us. Hey, welcome to the show for the first time. You've come into the Edge of fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. We talked about this situation with the survey that went out to Webster Groves yesterday, so a lot of our listeners do understand what's going on. If you can kind of quickly give us your basis of how you guys were introduced into this and where we sit right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've been highly involved in the front line, a lot of these parental rights issues in schools for a couple of years now. And one of the issues that keeps recurring is that we see that America's public schools are requiring students to take these kind of surveys at just an alarming rate. These are questions that have deeply personal topics and legally protected information. It asks them about their political beliefs, the political beliefs of their families. It asks them about their sexual behavior and attitudes. It asks them about their racial identities. And even worse, these are administered by these sort of mysterious outside third-party companies. And we have no idea what they're doing when they're hoovering up these data. And these parents are finding out about it third hand. Their kids are telling them about it. They were never asked to consent. And so they're very concerned. I really think this is the next front in the war.
So how, I see these things, and to me, they're just popping up out of nowhere. They're like zits. We see them in the Wentzville area. We see them now in Webster Groves. We see them all over the country, and they're like these little one-offs. This thing comes to our attention this week. Who wrote this thing, and who said that it was a good idea to administer it to these kids out in Webster Groves? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of times it's these third-party companies like Panorama Education and Wayfinder. And one of the things that's particularly alarming is the schools, if they're going to be gathering this data at all, are supposed to have really strong safeguards in there to prevent them from sharing this data and disseminating it. And then these are companies, including Panorama, which is co-founded by Merrick Garland, the Attorney General's son-in-law. That's the same official who instructed the FBI to investigate parents at school board meetings.
Ooh.
And both of these companies have openly expressed their commitment to far left-wing causes like dismantling systemic racism, or in the case of Wayfinder, they've said that they want to have a mental health dashboard for America's children.
I know that we're going to go around the room here for a second, but how does Webster Groves go, oh, yeah, this is a fantastic idea, let's bring it in?
Well, they also say that what they've done is totally legal.
Who, Webster Groves?
Webster Groves.
Yeah, but who looks at this document and go, this is awesome. Yeah, let's do this. I mean, have you been able to talk to the superintendent, the principals over there? Have you talked to anybody in charge over at Webster Groves?
We have not. The investigation's just commenced, but I'm dying to find out what they say. I mean, I don't know why anybody thinks this is a good idea. I'm a father of 2 kids myself, and I can just tell you that, there's no way in a million years I would want anybody polling my children on this kind of stuff. Wow. It's like they think that our children belong to them. I'm here to tell you, as a father of 2, my children do not belong to them.
We're talking with Braden Bosick, the director of litigation from the Southeastern Legal Foundation. You're an attorney. What do you guys really hope to accomplish here? What do you think you can from a legal standpoint?
We think we can shed a light on these practices. I mean, most parents have no idea this is happening because there's a deliberate effort to suppress this information. It's being done without their consent or notice. So I really think an investigation can pull pull the rug back on this, and we can see how deep this really goes.
Exactly right.
Just a quick update from one of our local school districts. It's a major school district here in St. Charles County in the St. Louis area. I was told yesterday after the show that Francis Howell School District is giving these surveys as well, but they are letting the parents know in advance. That's what a parent told me yesterday, which would be different, I guess, than what happened
Is
at
it opt-in?
Webster.
Is it opt-in? Or
Correct. Opt-in, opt-out. Just adding that, Braden, for one of our local school districts.
Yeah, I mean, if we are actually seeing school districts change their practices to allow parents to, what it should be is parents should be required to opt in. They shouldn't just be offered the option to opt out. And if that's what they're doing, that's tremendous progress. But if they're not doing, I really question in what way they're obtaining meaningful consent. And the Attorney General now has an investigation portal where you can submit complaints. An interested parent should consider submitting their concerns there.
You mean the Missouri Attorney General, Eric Schmidt?
That's correct.
Okay.
So you said it was from Merrick Garland, this Family Matters guy is throwing this stuff at the school district. Is there any blowback if a school district decides not to do this? Do they get, are they relieved of funds that they might receive? Or is there anything that they could, is there a reason that these school districts are doing this?
Well, no, these are just contracts that they're entering into. Now, why they would do that is anyone's guess. Go ahead.
No, it's an ideological thing. They're like, I subscribe to this ideology. Yes, we want this here as well. So there's no blowback. If Francis Howell decided to say, yeah, that looks a little bit shady to me, we're not going to do it. Okay, well then we'll hold money from you. So there's none of that going on.
No, to my knowledge, there's no withholding of federal funds if they don't do it. But I will say in the case of Webster Grove, the Panorama contract is relatively new. It looks like it probably was a contract that they were only able to enter into when they were flooded with all of these COVID relief dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one of the things that I hope the investigation looks at is why do they choose to enter into this contract? Why do they think this is something that they should be using taxpayer COVID relief dollars on?
From the Facebook line, Scott Vaughn says Eric Johnson would make a great school czar. Even if he couldn't read, talking about his son, Gussie would grow up tough. Braden, on a more serious note, when did you start to see these surveys entering public schools?
Well, I think that they've probably actually been going on for a long time. Like a lot of things, I think they've started taking this hard political bent in the last few years. And I can tell you that I've only started to see parents really bubble up to the surface in Webster Grove over the last year.
Really?
So like a lot of political trends in America, this appears to be accelerating sharply.
Is Webster Groves as liberal as we think it is out there? Like, my question is...
Eric.
You know it is.
Hold on now.
You've got
settle down there. Simmer down.
I sit across from you.
He just... As far as the parents go, is Webster Groves as liberal as a parent saying, this test or this questionnaire being administered to my kid is completely fine, I'm on board with it? Or are you seeing parents in that area go, wait a minute, I'm liberal, but this is out of bounds?
Yeah, what we're hearing from our parents is that it is pretty left-wing, and this has the consent of a lot of the parents out there. But as far as an overall view of it, you're the czar. You're going to have to tell me.
I'm not the czar yet. I'm being pitched to be the czar.
No, the czar is sitting in studio. Here she is.
Good point. Good point.
Angela,
I don't think you can be a czar if you don't know Duran Duran.
Well, that's fair. But just to clarify, the issue you have is that they didn't ask the parents first. You don't necessarily have an issue with the quiz. You're more concerned that they didn't get the okay from the parents before the quiz was given out.
Well, not obtaining the consent of the parent is what makes it illegal. I don't think these surveys are in any way appropriate, period. I want my kids to go to school and learn about reading, writing, and arithmetic. Call me old-fashioned. I don't want my schools asking my children about their gender binaries or suggesting to them that they should have a particular political leaning. Among other things, that just strikes me as a colossal waste of time.
Yeah. To me,
do you think any of these kids are actually filling this out seriously? Have you ever been in high school before? Because no high school kid fills this. I mean, maybe a couple will fill it out, honestly. But for the most part, though, they just put the most ridiculous thing they can think of.
Yeah, but that's certainly how I would have answered them in high school. But these survey questions reach down even to like second graders, right? And I mean, one of the exercises was asking these children to journal about their racial identity. And that was being offered to kids as young as second grade. And in an answer that's deeply rich with irony, one of the school children who was in second grade was asked, like, when's the first time you saw race? And his answer was now.
Wow.
You're bringing it to my attention all of a sudden.
Hey, Braden, could you tell our listeners, we got a couple minutes left, a little bit about what the Southeastern Foundation is, what you do, where you're located?
Yeah, Southeastern Legal Foundation is one of the nation's oldest conservative public interest law firms. So one of the things that we've always stood for is individual liberty, and there's no individual liberty right more important than a parent's right to control and direct the upbringing of their children. That issue is high salience right now. No issue is more important in America. So we've been on the front lines, and, we are willing to litigate. We are a litigation shop, and we do all of our litigation on a pro bono basis. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I personally am in Nashville, Tennessee.
So there's stuff going on all over the country, correct? I mean, this is one case of many that you guys are attending to.
Absolutely. We've got a case in Chicago, Illinois, where teachers and students are actually being segregated into racial affinity groups for various types of training and programs.
What?
It's coming, man. Yeah, I saw one the other day. We were talking about it. Washington, D.C. is handing out books to kids that are in kindergarten, apparently, that are asking them to, why don't you just out the parents or the people in your family that you think are racist? They're asking, who do you think in your family could be racist? It's amazing.
Well, I was just glad we did a story with the Southeastern Legal Foundation on Fox 2 a couple nights ago regarding this Webster School District. And the one thing is obviously you talked to the Webster School District, but I'm just glad that we were able to talk to a group like Braden's just to get a full perspective where you're getting every side of the story, because clearly this was something that not many people knew that was going on except maybe some parents. And we know parents can get busy and they trust their school systems. But, if this is something you don't want, maybe you need to start taking more of a closer look at it. Braden, I'm curious, have you heard from any backlash? And I know parents choose to go to these schools. What about private schools?
Yeah, this is definitely an issue in private schools as well. I mean, to your point, like we took our kids out of public school a year ago because I was just so exhausted of trying to monitor everything that was going on, and I didn't like the feeling that I was being misled. So I have my kids in a good private school where I don't feel like that's an issue. Unfortunately, we're hearing from a lot of parents at private schools who say that this is just as big of an issue there. So you really just have to keep your eye on who's spending most of the day with their children.
Yeah, we didn't have, when I was in school, we learned things like he says, reading, writing, and arithmetic. There was none of this.
So the parents invited you guys up to be a part of this, right? Or asked you or looked for help?
That's correct. The parents reached out to us.
Okay.
It's a shame.
It is. It's
such a
fascinating.
shame.
No, it is fascinating the whole way around of some of these things that are going on. Brady, anything else you want to let our listeners and viewers on Facebook know before we let you go today?
No, I mean, I deeply appreciate you guys' interest. You can follow Southeastern Legal Foundation online at our website, and you can follow me on my personal Twitter, which is @Braden.
I will say this before you go. One thing that you could do to help us is have maybe you already do, Facebook, Twitter, so that you can keep us abreast of everything that you find out, because maybe that's the thing.
He just gave his handles.
But where?
He just told us where we could follow him.
Okay, but what I'm saying is we need cases that he's actually working on to the minute, that we know what's going on, because I think that that's the problem, is these things come out so slowly.
Braden
Does that make
Bosick
sense?
on Twitter, right?
Will you post these cases all over Twitter, is what I'm asking.
We do update on our Twitter, and I would also tell you that if you go to the Southeastern Legal Foundation website, we have a whole case page devoted to all of our cases. But I tell you what, I think you guys one of you needs to help the other one with Twitter, and the other one needs to help the other one with great 80s music.
Yeah.
I think that we're all gonna
I can do that.
benefit in that relationship.
I'm already too busy to help everyone.
I think these stories are fascinating. The more they pop out, the more I'm interested in this entire thing, and the more sorry I feel for our parents.
John Parker says, what the hell is Eric asking for? Some kind of law ticker?
That would suck. That would suck incredibly if we had a ticker of these instances going on all over the place.
Our Facebook message line is second to none. We let them jump into the show. We incorporate them as well. That's why you might hear us bringing up other names that are not in the studio.
Yeah.
So,
Sure, bring it on.
They're kind of stars.
hey, Braden, are you a hockey fan there in Nashville?
I'm not a hockey fan. I'm a NBA fan. So go Memphis Grizzlies.
There you go. Yeah.
Good thing.
Fair, because your team didn't do very well last night in the hockey world.
John Morant, nice team to follow. Hey, Braden, thanks again. We appreciate you becoming a friend of the show, and we'll keep in touch. And you and all of those people that you have there working for you, keep me posted if there's anything else you'd like to talk about.
Will do. If I can ever help you guys, just let me know.
I mean, every week we should have you on. Let us know what's going on out in the world.
Braden
do it.
Bosick, we appreciate it, Braden. Thanks again. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
It's like this. It's like if your kid, if they were going on field trips without you knowing about it, you send your kid to school, they go on a field trip to a strip club because
Eric.
No, because the school thinks.
Well, I guess I should be quiet. You never know anymore. You're okay.
You send your kid to school, they go on a field trip to the strip club, and the parents go, "What the hell? You're taking my kid to a strip club?"
Well, the field trips
and then
you
they
have
go,
to get
"You're
permission
right."
for. That's the difference. The field trips you
That's
have
an
to
insurance.
get
That's an
yeah.
insurance.
I
deal
gotta
as
get
well.
from point A to
permissions
point
for.
B on my damn analogy. Hold on, fools.
Well, you can't.
Here you
well,
go.
The point is that the parents have to approve the field trip to the strip club, so this would never happen.
Could you imagine?
That's even worse.
Could you
So
imagine getting
all
a
of
piece
us, hold
paper?
on.
Yeah. Will your kid have? Does your kid have permission to go to a?
Here we go. Let me back up.
Diamond Cabaret.
Yeah,
I'll
but
help
gonna
you.
Chris,
start
I
over.
stopped myself because I don't. You never know. I
Here's
mean,
Here's where we
we've
are in
seen
the
some
world.
wild, crazy
I'm telling you
things.
what.
So all of a sudden, your kid, his name is John, and he goes to Francis
John
Howell.
Parker said he'd be pissed off because he wasn't invited as a chaperone.
John, you did
There's
not
a
mean.
po-
John's joking. John, you did not
Hold
mean
on.
that. You're
Hold
joking.
on. Let's get to the end of this one so I can hear what it sounds like myself.
Like most of the things you say.
You send John to Francis Howell Middle School, and he has his lunch, and he's looking good.
Oh, my God.
And he gets on a bus. He goes, "Where are we going?" He goes, "Don't worry about it. You'll love it when we get there." They go down to Diamond Cabaret or PT's or whatever. All of a sudden, they come back and they go, "Where'd you go today?" "I went to PT's on a field trip." The parent is now pissed off for multiple reasons. Number one, like
They didn't
Angela,
get to go.
like number one,
Stop
Angela
it.
says there was no
That's not funny.
no
You gotta fill out-
signature.
The school would never let that because
now-
they have to have.
And now the school's like,
insurance
"You're right.
reasons.
We're sorry. We should have had them sign a document saying it was okay."
Even if you
But
take
this-
a walk these days.
I mean, but the second part of that is now you're mad that they took him to a strip club, and that's not even the issue anymore. That's why I'm saying this is so dirty. Is this form? It's like, "Oh, you're right. We should have had you fill out a note saying it was okay for
But
Johnny."
once
to,
again, as Angela said, Webster maintains, as they told Fox 2, that they have done nothing illegal. Now, may they have done something that's unethical in some parents' minds? Absolutely. But, I guess we're going to have to wait and see from a legal standpoint, according to Braden, when they start the investigation.
I kind of wonder, with them being so steadfast on not being illegal, if maybe when your child starts school, you fill out something saying, like you sign, like, yeah, you can give my kid various random quiz. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's more
yes, like the
like
fine
generalized.
print,
Yeah.
print that's in there. Like you
for
signed
sure.
off on it.
It's more generalized
Yes.
than this particular
Angela
issue.
for the czar job.
Yeah, she can do it. Well, she has an education degree.
I know. That's why I always look at her for like her input and output.
Speaking of which, coming up in about 5-6 minutes, Missouri State Senator Bob Onder is going to join us, try to figure out what the hell's going on with this congressional map in the state. But they did have some success last night in Jeff City. They passed an election integrity bill. And Eric, this is going to excite you. I mean, it entails everything in the state of Missouri. You're going to call it kind of a leeway. This is something that should be used for the rest of the country. So Bob Onder will join us. He was up all night dealing with that. Coming up at 9 o'clock, I always say can't miss radio with Congressman Rodney Davis. He's going to join us at 9 o'clock. He said he'll take questions as well. A lot of things going on in Washington, as we know, from immigration, with all the border, cross seas, over $2 billion to Ukraine, more coming, and this Roe v. Wade, Supreme Court leaks, Nancy Pelosi's trip to Ukraine with Adam Schiff. We know he deals with or works with
Shady Schiff.
We got a lot packed up today. It is an action-packed show.
That's a tongue twist.
It is. Shady Schiff.
Yeah, it
Shady
is.
Schiff.
All of
Shady
that
Schiff.
is. We'll take your questions as well today. You're listening to the fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Angel Sharp, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. Of course, you can jump in on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Jump in on the show. Share it as well. Love it when you do that. You can always stream us as well at viperrocks.com. Hell, we're even on YouTube at The Morning Edge. Also, Duran, you did not recognize Rio.
I did not, no.
We played the beginning of Rio. I think you need to hear the chorus.
Okay.
She won't get it.
Is this the chorus? It sounds like it's building up to it.
This is the verse.
We're not going to play the vocals.
We can't do the vocals. We'll get kicked off Facebook.
Hold on just a second. No.
Oh, I thought it was going to hit
still
there.
rocking.
It kind of hits and
it's
holds.
still rocking. It's like a little loop going on. Here, go ahead and sing it, Vic.
Do you think you could play this?
I did play it, and I love the bass line. It's great. Here we go.
Is this
Here we
it?
go.
Yeah.
One.
Here we go.
1, 2. Dig it. Pow.
Go. I
Get
tried.
some. Get
my
some.
voice is. I was getting some, but my voice went out on me. As you know, I barely have a voice.
No, it kind of sounds like very like
Middle Eastern,
yeah,
Indian.
like kind of like.
Well,
like
she's
you're
doing
kinda,
the snake charmer.
You're kind of vibing, yeah.
That's called the snake charmer.
Yeah,
I see.
It's like the cobra coming out of the basket.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I was doing with my hand.
Duran elected into the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame this morning, along with Pat Benatar. She'll be in St. Louis this summer with some of Eric's friends from Motley Crue and Poison. Also, Eminem, the first rapper to be elected since Jay-Z. And go figure, they were friends, and Jay-Z gave him a start. So there you go. Oh, we bring it all to you. Cardinals' offense is nowhere to be found. We'll talk about that as well. Blues get back to action tonight. Huge game. The Blues win tonight. They're sweeping. I'm calling it.
Wow.
They'll sweep in St. Louis.
Really?
But the captain of the Minnesota Wild did not get suspended. However,
he got a $5,000 fine.
I know that was ridiculous.
But $5,000 is the most you can be fined under the NHL.
That is a lunch menu.
So they
for
fined him the
him.
most that they could, but they didn't suspend him. It's unprecedented.
I can't.
They don't want the Blues to
well,
dominate. They want a longer series.
I think that it would have sparked a fire in those guys, and it might have done them some good to have that guy out for a game.
I don't know. That I was more upset with the Cardinals' lack of offense again. I think they've scored 2 runs or less in like 7 of their past 9 games. We need a hitting coach. What the hell's going on?
Isn't that what Willie McGee's there for?
No, I don't know. Willie's more. I think he's more all
He's
around.
into pageants and stuff.
What the hell are you talking about?
Chris knows.
Pageants. What does he have? Daughters or?
Yes, I don't.
Is he really into pageants?
He's such a
Anytime
good
somebody
guy.
brings up Willie McGee, I always think of
E.T.
Michaela McGee.
Oh yeah, Michaela McGee, former Fox 2 sports reporter, won the Miss Missouri pageant over the weekend. So
They're not related, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'm confused with how we made that jump.
Chris is doing a deep jump. It's a big, long, deep jump. Oh, I meant Dr. Dre, not Jay-Z. My fault. You're right, Matthew. That was stupid. I got my guys mixed up. I'm looking at 5 different things. So Michaela now goes to compete for the Miss USA national pageant. So we wish her the best with that. And as you were told earlier this week, Michaela's dad was a linebacker at Mizzou. So he's my football brethren. Glad for Michaela. She wanted it. She left Fox 2, wanted to go win it, and she did. All right, coming up here in just about a minute, Bob Onder. Tomorrow, we've got Steve Ellman. And it's interesting there because maybe we ask Bob about it, too. I don't know. About future elections and St. Charles County Executive and those positions that are out there, all kinds of things. And we still haven't talked really about President Trump's still power.
Oh, man. He's having a good breakfast this morning, isn't he, Trump?
J.D. Vance won Ohio last night going away, and nobody had even heard of him.
No. It's like
Which would be interesting in Missouri if Trump actually came out and backed somebody. Would it help one of the candidates there? Because it appears to be a 3-person race at this point.
Have you seen his rallies still? Trump's rallies?
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen Trump's rallies still? They're huge.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like
massive.
They're like U2 concerts.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you that I don't watch the TV.
She gets her news from?
Directly from Vic Faust.
There you go.
Well, Vic had on the news last night.
Again,
A
I'm
Trump
not watching
rally.
the news. I get whatever he tells me to be the news
All
when he
right.
sits right here.
Well, it's time to talk with our friend, Missouri State Senator Bob Onder. How much sleep did you get last night, Bob?
Well, we did get done before 11, so it was a long night, but not as bad as some.
All right, tell us about this election integrity bill that Missouri passed. You guys are catching some heat because it doesn't appear as if, maybe that's not the case, that a lot's gotten done, especially when it came to the congressional map in Missouri, and it's being touted as Republicans fighting Republicans, but it appears there was some common ground when it came to the election integrity bill last night. If you can explain that.
Yes, this was really big. For many years, getting voter ID has been an enormous priority for the Missouri legislature. The courts have messed with the bills that have passed over the years. And then after the 2020 election, for many, many of my constituents, that was their number one issue, making sure their vote on election day counted and wasn't diluted by voter fraud. So last night we did pass a comprehensive election integrity bill that included voter photo ID, that included a ban on Zuckerbucks. That's where out-of-state billionaires, give money to our election authorities, essentially as get out the vote efforts for progressives. The bill we passed last night included requirement of paper ballots. You can't commit fraud with paper the way you can with electronic machines. It included a ban on drop boxes. It included a requirement that there be cybersecurity audits by the Secretary of State, and then a requirement for air gapping between any kind of election machine and the internet so that hackers can't get on and hack into our elections the way they sometimes hack into our financial data. So I think this was a big win for election integrity and a big win for the folks of Missouri.
So
there's no doubt.
So many questions. It's unbelievable. Why would there ever be a pushback on voter ID? You have to have an ID to get on an airplane. You have to have an ID to buy beer. You have to have an ID to drive a car. Being a citizen of the state of Missouri and the United States is one of the biggest privileges that you can have. Why would there ever be a pushback on voter ID? I've never understood that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never understood it either. In fact, the bipartisan Carter-Baker Commission after the 2000 election, the Bush versus Gore debacle, agreed on a lot of things that are really encompassed in our bill that we passed yesterday. The idea that in-person voting on Election Day with a voter ID is the gold standard for election integrity. And in fact, it's the gold standard that was really pioneered in the United States and has been imitated by most of the democracies around the world. I guess I could put it one of two ways. The Democrats, the progressives would say, well, you're just trying to suppress Democrat votes by more requirements. The other way I could put it is I think many progressives like to cheat, and there are documented cases of cheating in the state of Missouri. So it should be a bipartisan a point of agreement that voter ID on Election Day is the right way to conduct elections.
Absolutely. So glad that you did this. I would like to shift gears just a little bit. Fantastic. I want to applaud you on the integrity law. I want to also go to Roe versus Wade now, because if what we see the first draft of coming out of the Supreme Court goes through, Roe versus Wade isn't overturned. It's not outlawed. It's not banned. It gets thrown right back to the state of Missouri, and abortion becomes whatever the good people of Missouri want, correct? And how are you guys ready to field that if that happens immediately?
Well, yeah, this is enormous news. For almost 50 years, the U.S. Supreme Court has taken upon itself to act as a legislature that wrote abortion law for all 50 states. I mean, that was just such an abomination, such a violation of our constitutional system of the rule of law. So overturning Roe versus Wade, which is clearly what this draft opinion would do, and from what we can tell, it appears to be genuine. My first reaction was someone faked this. This is just this is too good to be true. I've been involved in the pro-life movement since I was a college student, 18, 19 years old. I never thought I'd live to see this day. But what would happen in Missouri is actually already taken care of in our statute books, and that is this. In the 2019 pro-life law, commonly known as the Heartbeat Bill, it contained a provision that wasn't as widely discussed because it was theoretical. And that provision is known as the trigger law. Missouri and 13 other states have a trigger law that says very simply that if Roe versus Wade is overruled, all innocent human life will be protected in the state of Missouri. Abortion will be illegal in Missouri, except for cases of the life and health of the mother. So that's really we really will become an abortion-free state. We're nearly an abortion-free state right now. When I became involved in the pro-life movement in the 80s, there were over 10,000 abortions a year in Missouri. Last year, there were fewer than 50. So this is a huge victory for the cause of human life. And I would also say just a huge victory for the cause of the Constitution and the rule of law.
Missouri State Senator Bob Onder, thanks for taking so much time to join us today, Doctor. Keep in touch with us. Let us know if there's anything else that we need to cover from your perspective and how you see things, your way of seeing things. And I know you're on limited sleep, so we appreciate it again. Yep. Thank you so much.
Well, we're down to the last 2 weeks. There will definitely be things in the next 2 weeks that we'll want to talk about.
All right. I'll stay in touch with you. You got it. Don't go anywhere, guys. When we come back, Congressman Rodney Davis from Illinois. He'll take your questions as well. He says he'll have 15 minutes starting at 9 o'clock. Everything that's going on in D.C. right now, and there is a lot.
I want some Zuckerbucks.
You want some Zuckerbucks?
I don't even know what they are, but they sound like very expensive.
Rodney, maybe that's your first question. Ask Rodney if he has any Zuckerbucks.
Yeah, I want some Zuckerbucks.
All right, we got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Share the show. Come back if you're taking a break. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, D'Angelo Sharp, and Vic Faust. Oh, you got your cowboy boots on today.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready to go.
And I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2, back with more right after this.
Edge Morning Traffic.
Watch for emergency vehicles I-70 westbound past Bryan Road. And there's a bit of slowing through the construction zone, 364 westbound near Highway 94. The right lane is closed. I-70 at I-6440, traffic is moving in St. Charles County and no delays getting into St. Louis County. Highway 40 eastbound still slow from 270 over to Lindbergh, then again from McKnight over to the Inner Belt. 270 northbound still a mess heading out of South St. Louis County from I-55 up to Manchester. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose, and that's your Edge Morning Traffic.
I love these guys. They make funny with their mouths.
The Edge Morning Show.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Conrad Bellman at Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters. Right now, we're buying any pre-owned vehicles. At Bellman Carnection, we will take anything on trade: farm, house, truck, cars, and SUVs. Bring into a Bellman pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or van today. The inventory is always fresh, so hurry in before someone else buys the one you want. Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters at Highway 70 and 370, where you will never pay the max, Online at carnection.com.
Whoa, Greg's up.
He's never up this early.
Hey, guys. Okay, so this is called the Bell Breakfast Box from Taco Bell. Oh, thanks. I can read.
And that's a coffee. Helps you open your eyes.
And that's a breakfast burrito. You can start from either end.
You guys always this condescending in the morning?
Pretty much.
Wake up with the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, filled with a grande toasted breakfast burrito, hash brown, 2 Cinnabon Delights, and a coffee. At limited participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
The graphics are so real on this video game console I bought with the savings from switching to Progressive 10 years ago. I can't tell what's real and what's the game, which I think is what people want. You know, in the future, which it is currently.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Viper weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. We have reached the middle of the week on this Wednesday. Clouds dominate. There'll be a little peekaboo sunshine. This is a pretty intense cloud shield, though, across the middle of the nation. 69-70 will do it for the high. Tonight, periods of showers, a couple of thunderstorms. I think most of the activity is late tonight, after midnight. 55 for the low on Thursday. Kind of a wet day again. Periods of showers, a couple of thunderstorms, 75. Showers and thunderstorms Thursday night, 58. Showers and thunderstorms Friday, especially in the morning, 70. But right now, I'm thinking the weekend, both days will be dry with temperatures in the 70s, could be well into the 70s. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, the Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey guys, time for a quick look at some of your news headlines and sports headlines this morning. The plans to expand the St. Louis Convention Center downtown still unclear. This is unfortunate. Post-Dispatch reporting no companies, believe this or not, no companies bid for the second half of a $200 million project. It was expected to cost $70 million. And this comes just 2 weeks after the first phase of the project attracted only one contractor whose $124 million bid was accepted. Not good. We got to figure something out in downtown St. Louis. That is for sure. Not good right now. A woman had to jump out of a window to escape a house fire this morning. You can check that video out on fox2now.com. The City Justice Center upgrades are complete. That's good news. Also, road rage yesterday led to gunfire outside of a shopping center at Ronnie's Plaza. If you heard this, we had broken with breaking news. Yeah. Be careful. We talked about the road rage. The stuff is going all over the place. In sports yesterday, the Cardinals got throttled by the Kansas City Royals. This is one of the worst all-time offenses I've ever seen for supposedly having a great lineup. Frustrated with the Cardinals. But in a better note, the Blues try to make it 2-0 in their series against the Minnesota Wild tonight. Puck dropped at like 8:41 Monday night. It'll probably be around 8:41 again tonight. It's a later game. Cardinals, though, they play a day game, so you don't have to bounce back and forth. You can bounce back and forth from Fox 2 to the game. Let's look at your morning headlines and sports. I'm Vic Faust. Time to take a look at your birthdays now with Angela Sharp.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
It's your birthday. It's the birthday. That's right. I served you cake. I'm Peggy. Pull your leggy. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go.
It is birthday time. Ray Lynn, she was on The Voice and then it came out as a country singer. She is 28 years old today. How about Lance Bass? You guys remember him from NSYNC, right?
Yeah.
Eric
Okay.
plays his music.
Eric knows that guy.
Like literally
He
plays
is
his music.
43 years old today. Erin Andrews, probably the most famous sideline reporter. She is 44 years old today. How about this? We know that Eric loves bass players.
And older people.
How about Mike Dirt
From Alice in Chains.
from Try Again?
From Blink 182.
Try one more time.
You just used Blink 182, my group.
Green Day. He is from Green Day. It is his birthday today. He is 50 years old. Randy Travis. I think even if you don't like country, you know Randy Travis. He's 63 today. And Lynn Spears. That would be Brittany's mom. She is 67. So happy birthday to all our famous friends. Or their moms.
Break out the lightsabers and may the 4th be with you.
It's National Star Wars Day today.
May the 4th be with you, a phrase that's led to May the 4th becoming known as Star Wars Day.
Celebrate all things pertaining to a galaxy far, far away.
Okay.
What if we did a show about Star Wars?
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Showtime.
It is showtime. Welcome back to the show, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. See, I like that music. There you go.
That's the thing of the past.
Glad I made you happy for once.
Yeah, there you go. Stop it. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight.
Don't get that wheelbarrow full of pennies.
It almost sounds like the Darth Vader music.
It is the
I
Darth
know.
Vader music.
As we lead in, we need to have the Rocky theme song for Rodney Davis, Congressman Rodney Davis, who comes on. Angela Sharp, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2.
Let him pick his own music.
Rodney, do you take your... Yeah, next time we have you on, Rodney, what is your walk-up music that we can play for you?
Oh, Lord, anything that would be in the hairband 80s.
Yeah!
Probably maybe Poison, but not Talk Dirty to Me.
No!
Maybe like Ride the Wind. How's that?
Okay.
Yes!
Yes!
Rodney, I love you even more,
Look
man.
what the cat
My
drug in.
politician crush continues. And I'll stop there. I was going to say something else. We got it going on. Yes, the hairband 80s, right? I thought you were going to say something country.
Hell no. He knows where
I
his
like
bread's
country
buttered.
too, but I grew up a child of the mullet and mustache
Bring
era,
it.
man.
Man! You make me want to move to Illinois.
See, we've got Angela on the show now. We told her you're a great guest that we have bringing in, so she's smiling already.
I am.
And that's
run,
rare.
Angela, run fast.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Hey, do you feel like you need a lightsaber in Congress these days to go into some of these meetings?
Wow, it's interesting. I just walk in like, Obi-Wan. The droids you're looking for are not here. They're not the droids you're looking for. But, in all reality, Congress is a lot less dysfunctional when it comes to inter-party fighting and even bipartisan fighting than what the 24-hour news cycle wants to talk about.
I don't. If you that just blows my mind because
That blows my mind,
because
too.
when we watch the news, Fox, MSNBC, CNN, whatever your flavor is, it seems like you guys hate each other. You got Nancy Pelosi flying over to Ukraine, not inviting any of the Republicans. I mean, it looks like a bloodbath over there. And then you're at the start of the midterms that are going on right now. It's got to be a very unique kind of environment
I
over
guess
there
he
right
needs
now.
to start on one subject.
Well, start on this. What is the build up to the midterms happens, and then last night I'm sure you were glued to your TV with all of the Trump backed candidates, and Trump did very good last night. What is kind of the energy for the midterms this year? I mean, how many seats do you guys plan to win? Let me put it that way.
Well, first off, I'm very excited about the midterms. I think history's on our side, and polling shows that the American people, they're just frustrated. They're frustrated that the Biden administration's not addressing inflation, not addressing the border crisis, not addressing crime and corruption. And, they realize when a grocery cart used to cost $100 at the grocery store and now it costs $200, they can verify how much that costs their budget each month. So when you look ahead, let's look back to answer your question about what will the Republican wins look like this year. And you've got to look back to our surprising, to many, but not to us, Republicans actually won 15 seats in the 2020 election when we were told that we were going to lose 15 to 25 seats. So that doesn't leave as many seats on the board for us to pick up. The key number you have to look at is, are we going to get to a level where we will have a larger majority than we had post-94? and post-2010, and I think we will.
Staying on that just for a second, I know Vic wants to jump in here, but staying on that, Biden can do a lot of damage with his pen. He can do a lot of executive damage with his pen. We have a border crisis that is like nothing we've ever seen before. If the Senate and the House flip big time, can you do anything about maybe fixing what's going on down at the border? Can you fix anything that he's doing with energy prices and not letting us drill in certain places and pipelines? Is there anything legislatively you guys will be able to do to fix problems that he just doesn't seem to want to deal with?
Absolutely. We must pass legislation every single Congress. And we can make sure in that must-pass legislation there are solutions. And also our job is going to be to stop some of this craziness that comes out of the Biden administration. And I focus on a lot of agriculture policy, transportation and infrastructure policy. Frankly, opening up the House campus is something we will do on day one when we take the majority. It will be a new day in Washington, and one that will send a message to the Biden administration that the leftists that they have running the policy shop need to go.
Rodney, where do you find the truth to be with this leak with Roe v. Wade? What does it seem like when it comes to politics in D.C.? Because it made me sick to my stomach, and I'm still sick talking about it, because we know that this just didn't happen by accident, and it's clear somebody who didn't like what they thought that the decision may end up being leaked this to generate all kinds of divisiveness, even more divisiveness in this country.
Yeah. I think somebody like a Ruth Bader Ginsburg would be appalled to see something like this happen. And I think it's probably, I don't have any evidence, but I think it's probably one of the clerks that would clerk for one of the liberal justices that in today's day and age, I mean, with social media and the 24-hour news cycle with fight, and frankly, the liberal media, they would consider somebody like this brave. Disrupting the institutions that have existed since the creation of our nation is not bravery. Doing something that is unprecedented to leak a draft opinion which sows doubt in our institutions of American government is not something that should be rewarded. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I believe I think it's some law clerk who really focuses on abortion policy and has in the past before he or she would have gotten to the Supreme Court. And I think she leaked it because we're in a look-at-me society right now. And everybody thinks that their viewpoint is the most important rather than making sure that we all come together and respect our American government institutions.
It is interesting. You brought up Ginsburg really quick just to talk about Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Clearly, she advocated for women's access to abortion, even so much, I would say, as a constitutional right, but she always criticized the way in which Roe v. Wade was established and her reasoning for it. I mean, you can't forget that the judges are not there to start, hey, we're going to decide this. They're
not legislators.
We're not going to create. We're going to create law now. I mean, I just want all the facts out there. So you just happen to bring up Ruth. So
well, to stem off what Vic was saying is Ruth was probably sick of fielding these cases, going, look, this is not my job. This is the Congress's job, and if the Congress can't take care of it, then let the states deal with it. So I'm sure that this is. So you guys are going to have to message between now and November. Look, this is actually a good thing. This lets states have the opportunity to make their own abortion laws. The Supreme Court didn't kill anything. They just sent it back to the states, really is all they did. Correct, Rodney?
It is. I agree with the draft opinion. I'm proudly pro-life. I think the killing of the unborn is abhorrent. These are lives, and these are policies that we need to have our legislators at all levels of government and also our judges in the Supreme Court to realize that there needs to be a legislative fix. Roe was a terrible decision back in the 70s. I was 3 years old when it was set down, and we need to do something, and I'm shocked it's taken this long, and I certainly hope that draft opinion is very similar, if not the same, as the final opinion. But here in Illinois, where I live, you know what's going to change by this decision? Unfortunately, absolutely nothing. Illinois is going to continue to be a state that allows federal taxpayer dollars, Medicaid dollars, to pay for abortion. I think it's terrible. We need change in government here in Illinois to really have the changes we pro-lifers want too.
True story.
Illinois Congressman Rodney Davis, some questions from the line on one of the questions you were just answering from our Facebook line. John says, well, if you feel like that, then they wanted us to ask you about January 6th and people storming the Capitol. Didn't they disrupt a system of government protocol?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been on your show saying that.
Yeah.
Anybody who walked into the Capitol and broke the law that day needs to be held to the same accountability standards that I said needed to be in place for those who walked in and looted a store in the summer of 2020. And if you didn't touch anything, too bad. You broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
You should be prosecuted. I'm a lawmaker. Anybody who breaks the law needs to be held accountable for doing so. And there are different levels of accountability in our justice system. And we need to make sure that accountability matters. Another
question from the line. What kind of support does it appear that Pritzker has, Governor Pritzker in Illinois, your state, right now when it comes to re-election?
Well, if you come down to my district and you looked at the last election cycle, there were more Pritzker suck signs than there were Trump signs in my district. There is a groundswell of disappointment in Governor Pritzker and the way that he's handled the COVID response, the way that he's handled so many issues here in Illinois. I think any of our candidates on the Republican side right now can beat Governor Pritzker in the general election.
They say that this midterm is going to be an election of the parents, kind of like Virginia might have been. CRT is a huge thing. Do you expect a lot of candidates running on CRT, critical race theory? And if there's overwhelming a flip in the House and the Senate, will you guys try to make federal law banning critical race theory?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do what we can to make sure that no child is ever taught to hate their country. And no child is ever taught to hate another human being because of what they look like. And these are the types of things that we Republicans are glad. You know, we office holders at the federal level, we smile. We are glad that the parents have finally stepped up and they've seen what's being taught in some of these school districts. Now the good news is in many rural school districts that I serve, these issues have not been taught. And parents are going to be the best barometers of what should and should not be taught in our school districts. And what we've seen is so many of those frustrated parents who have sat at home on Zoom calls with their kids during COVID, and they're running for school board. They're going to become the policymakers of their local school district. That's what makes America great, is we have so many levels of government where the local voice is paramount.
Hey, Rodney, any Nancy Pelosi updates? Any stories? Is everything smooth? Is everything as normal?
Makeup, hair?
Yeah, everything's normal. No mask. So I get to see her
Hey, wait a minute.
face again.
Hold on. So you bring up the Speaker of the House. There seems to be some dysfunction behind the scenes about McCarthy being the next Speaker of the House. Is there any truth to any of that stuff? And who could be a candidate to be the next Speaker of the House, in your opinion?
No, I can't wait to vote for Kevin McCarthy.
There you go.
Speaker of the House. He's going to be a great speaker.
But you and of course, Kevin's name got brought up in the public, last week or a week ago. There was some smoke around that. Your thoughts on that whole situation?
Nobody was talking about that issue except for reporters in Washington, D.C. It's completely inside baseball. And as a matter of fact, I had a bunch of reporters chasing me down the tunnels when I got back to Washington, D.C. a week ago and asking me about the tape post-January 6th of Kevin McCarthy. And I turned and I said, this is such inside baseball. No one in my district asked me about this issue, not a single constituent. And I said, the only people that care about this are all of you who chase me around the tunnels and ask me about it.
Well, I wouldn't be asking you about that, but I might ask you about giving me your opinion on this is going to be a Trump election. We had some. What do you feel?
And we'll let you go after this question, Rodney.
Can you comment on the Trump factor on this in this election cycle? Would you like to have a Trump endorsement? Would you like to run independently of Trump? How does the Trump thing figure into this election cycle?
Look, I'm somebody who has a great record of working with President Trump and his administration. I was the co-chair of his campaign in Illinois during the 2020 cycle. We did a lot of great things together with his administration to lower taxes, to address the First Step Act, some of the injustices in our criminal justice system that needed to be addressed. But that doesn't greenlight Democrats into thinking that we ought to let all criminals out of jail at all. These are the issues that I'm proud to tout on the campaign trail, my working relationship with the Trump administration. But every single election is going to come down to individual candidates, and individual candidates matter. Some of the candidates that won last night in Ohio, I've had a chance to meet those congressional candidates. Can't wait to serve with them. And we're going to continue. Making sure that we pick up more seats in Illinois, in districts that Democrats in Springfield drew to elect Democrats. But I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm looking at the candidates, and I'm looking at the incumbents. And I think it's going to be a great night in Illinois all around for Republicans.
Hey, Rodney, whatever you decide to run for again, is this going to be your music when you're up there? Here's your Poison, Ride the Wind. This gets you pumped up, doesn't it?
You're darn right it does. Yeah.
I like it, too. I like it. I can already see out on stage. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney Davis.
I love it, man.
With his bandana and his mullet.
It's going to be a fun 8 months.
I met Brett Michaels a few years ago in my district. He's a great guy.
You know, Eric knows him.
Well, the fake version of him, of course.
Well, I'll tell you a good Brett Michaels story the next time I'm on about what a quality person he is. And he did a few things over a decade ago for somebody in my district that long before I was a member of Congress that he didn't have to do. And he's just a good person.
He is a good guy.
Ride the wind. We love it. Rodney, thanks again for your time. We appreciate it. We know you're busy. We look forward to having you on again to hear that story about Brett Michaels.
Absolutely, my friend. See you.
All right, Rodney Davis, as we give you a shot of Lambert Airport, riding that wind out at Lambert. It is The Edge, the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Eric Johnson's here, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp, and Vic Faust at Fox 2. Back with more right after this. This is a damn good song.
KFC knows that when it comes to sharing, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A meal with sides, that's good. 3 equally delicious sides? So even if one kid loves mac and cheese, another only eats mashed potatoes, and the third is basically 90% French fry, there'll still be no complaints, besides why bedtime can't be midnight and ice cream isn't a breakfast food? That's finger-licking good.
KFC Sides Lovers Meal. Pick 3 large sides and pair them with 8 crispy tenders or your favorite fried chicken. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
Join the annual BJC Foundation Golf Classic, May 9th at Old Hickory. Be part of bringing health, healing, and hope to St. Charles County. The BJC Foundation enriches the lives of our neighbors by funding these efforts. Massage therapy for Siteman cancer patients and their caregiver. Activity cards for patients and families. Transportation service for patients who need to receive treatment. And community health, wellness, and education programs like Community Strong. Register online at bjcstcharlescounty.org/golf.
Keep your resolution to quit cigarettes this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. I Quit Vapor carries the salt nicotine systems, their latest juice flavors, and all of their pod systems. Let their staff explain why the salt nicotine system is so effective in helping you to quit cigarettes for good. It has a much smoother delivery and allows you to adjust the amount of nicotine intake. I Quit Vapor is still your one-stop shop for everything vapor. Keep your quit cigarette resolution this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care, glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444, dryoureyes.com.
Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters carries a full line of automotive parts and paints. They're a PPG Platinum distributor of automotive paint and industrial coatings and auto body shop supplies. For over 40 years, your hometown auto parts store is Midnight Auto. Stop in at Midnight Auto Supply in St. Peters, just off Mexico Road, 447-4000, 447-4000, on the web at mid-niteautosupply.com.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So we're going to tap into human emotion. First with some music. Then in a serious tone, I'll say, save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. And even though it was about saving money with Progressive, we'll fade out the music so you know it was poignant. Wow, powerful stuff. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. The new Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $8.99, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. I feel like we took a final. We've gone through 3 guests already, the fastest 2 hours of Morning Talk Radio. Eric Johnson, Brendan. I almost said Brendan. That's how tired I am. Chris Knight. Wow.
Oh! I think he just turned your mic off, Vic.
What's wrong with you, man?
Love it. I only said that I stopped. I just told you I'm exhausted. I'm mentally exhausted right now.
I didn't bust your balls, and you bust my balls all the time.
Bust them.
Just
whatever.
say balls. Just say balls. You'll feel better about life.
Balls. You get balls. Okay. Football, soccer balls.
Context. See.
Angela Sharp. Right. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. We know our society is all just messed up, effed up. Comedian Dave Chappelle attacked last night during a show in L.A. on stage.
Wait, what?
At the Hollywood Bowl.
What the hell?
Attacked? Like Will Smith got up and smacked him?
Yeah, like there was a Will Smith sighting. Yeah, like something like that. No, this guy he attempted to tackle Dave Chappelle. Security got to him. They beat the crap out of this guy. He's in the hospital.
Yeah, dislocated his shoulder.
Yeah, they took care of him. Chappelle was fine. But my God, are you kidding me? So they do have the person in suspect. He will be arrested, or he was arrested. He's going to be charged. But literally, he just charged and tackled Dave Chappelle on stage.
It's a thing. It never was a thing. Never was a thing that you had any kind of attempt on your life while you were on stage for a guitar player or a comedian or a whatever. It was never a thing. Now it's a thing because Chappelle is somehow he's controversial. What?
Well, as soon as
he's a damn comedian.
Yeah, and as soon as he was attacked, he thanked security and then joked that he's like, "Oh, that's all right. That guy that just attacked me, he's a trans man."
Was he?
Well, I don't know.
No. That's breaking news.
But no, it was a joke, and everybody laughed because Chappelle makes several jokes about the trans community in his stand-up routine. He even was laughing last night that he's been recently forced to increase his security because the trans community is now threatening his life.
Almost got him last night. Anyway, Before I say something stupid, I'm just going to ask that we go to the next topic.
Kevin Joseph says, the suspect will probably sue and win millions now for attacking Dave Chappelle. Oh, because that's how society can be. Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can jump on the Facebook line, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show if you want to as well. Angela, you're standing. Do you have back issues today? I hope you're doing all right. A lot of us have back issues.
I'm super uncomfortable today. I don't know why. So I'm going to try the standing route. Eric does it the whole show, so I figured it must be good for you.
It is.
It must be. What do you think? By the way, thanks again for all of our guests today. Braden Bausick, the director of litigation for the Southeastern Legal Foundation, Bob Onder, and Rodney Davis. I wonder what Rodney's going to tell us about Bret Michaels. I can't wait for that.
There's
story.
nothing to tell about the guy. I mean, he's just the nicest dude on the planet.
No,
he really is.
No, that's what I mean.
It's like, what are you going to say? He's into dog rescue. He gives money to every charity that he can get his hands on. He's got diabetes. He's literally fighting for his life every time he goes on stage.
Does he have kids?
I don't know if he has kids or
he
not.
does.
I don't know if he has kids or not.
He does. He has a daughter.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Another thing that we needed to bring up, this could be a big, big problem in St. Louis City. I brought it up during the news headlines, just throwing it out there as well. The fact that the St. Louis Convention Center downtown has 0 people, 0 bids, 0 bids bidding on the second half of the $200 million project. 0. If that is not a show of how people feel about investing in the city of St. Louis, I have no idea.
I told
what
you.
is.
Look, Vic, yesterday we did that. What was the name of the guy that
Only
we had
one.
from Laclede's Landing? What was his name? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Brian Mingus with the Advantis Group.
I had a guy text me, friend of mine. I didn't even know he was doing. He does development in St. Charles. He was doing development in St. Louis. He goes, Eric. He goes, great interview yesterday. I was like glued to the radio. He goes, you don't even know 1/8 of the problem that's going on down there. He goes, I'd love to take you for a beer to let you know, hey, Laclede's Landing's one thing, but there are problems all over St. Louis that are unmanageable as far as developers go and development goes down in St. Louis. And I keep thinking to myself, they really just need to tear that stadium down. That
stadium,
that dome, the convention
dome.
center.
That's not gonna
that
happen.
whole area just needs to be ripped apart because it's going to become a dilapidated mess pretty soon. And they go, hey, look, we have convention services down in St. Louis. No, you don't.
Well, if it's not torn down, I got a feeling that you're going to spend about 4 or 5 or 6 times more trying to replace it.
It's a dump. It is literally
it's not good,
dump.
that's for sure.
It's probably got asbestos in the roof. It's just a piece of crap. They need to rip it down, and maybe one day when we get leadership in here that's not of the ilk that we have right now, we can invest in an NFL stadium and just save the space. But right now, it's not doing any good. Come on, Vic, help me out.
That's not happening.
I'm going to be the mayor pretty soon.
The mayor
I'll
of
bring
what?
I'll bring NFL.
You're going to be the mayor of what?
Of St. Louis, Missouri. Just to help out.
Really?
John Parker will be there helping me out.
Okay. All right.
What are you going to do if I actually run for mayor of St. Louis? What are you going to do?
Well,
you going to back me?
First, you have to move. Yeah.
Huh?
You got to move to
there.
St. Louis before you can run.
I'll get a P.O. box.
By the way, and I'm glad John said this because I did know this, there's a convention in there right now and probably 4 to 5 days a week. I didn't realize it was 4 to 5 days a week. I just know that we've lost a lot of convention business, John, which is huge for our entire St. Louis region. And we're losing more and more by the day, which is going to be felt in the next year to 2 years to the cities like Louisville, to the cities like Nashville, Chicago,
Kansas City for
Indianapolis,
sure.
And this is coming from the Convention Bureau itself telling us when we do these stories. That's the problem.
I'd love to take John Parker on a trip over to Kansas City, Missouri, and show him around a city that was very dilapidated back when I lived there.
What city?
Kansas City, Missouri. And how they have brought that thing back up. I don't even know
different.
what.
It's a
how
smaller.
is it different?
I don't know if that's an apples to apples comparison.
It's an apples to apples comparison. It's a metropolitan area. It's got It's got an NFL team. It's got a Major League Baseball team. It's got It's just got great venues. But more importantly, it's got cops that will actually interact with criminals and take them to actual jails. So it's safe down there. It is safe in Kansas City. I would love to take John Parker on a field trip to Kansas City That's my, and I'll buy the beer. So John can stop saying, "Oh, St. Louis, yeah, we got problems, but everybody's got problems." No, there's cities actually in our region that are fantastic that you would love to go to. Nashville's another one of them. Chicago, absolutely not.
Yeah, well, but at least Chicago has some positive areas.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Give me a map. I'd love to go see what they look like now.
Well, it's changed, unfortunately, as we talked about, like New York and Los Angeles as well. But it's, I mean, they're still a draw.
I would rather go to downtown St. Charles than to Chicago any day of the week. There's just, St. Charles is knocking it out of the park. And it's growing and it's expanding and it's safe and it's awesome. There's something about this area that is just doing it right. And I would love to. And I think that from your point, Vic, there's a lot, the $200 million investment into the convention center. The problem is there's people that would love to go down there and invest time to bring St. Louis back. But the management of St. Louis is so bad that you just can't do it. It's literally trying to put a square peg through a round hole. And that's why I'm running for mayor.
Mayor of
St. Louis, Missouri.
Of St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. Let us know when you're going to be moving.
Actually, I got a message from Cervantes. He actually came to me in a dream and said you should run. I said, all right.
That what?
Listen, you gotta listen. I said I just had a dream about Cervantes. He said I should run, and I said okay. The old mayor of St. Louis.
Hey, Angela, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
We've been talking about it. We've 3/4 of the show.
This is a political era that we live in, Angela. I'm sorry. It is. It is just there's everything that you can be talked about. Because this show, The Edge, is like what you might talk about if you went to Starbucks with your buddies.
We've had this conversation so many times, you and I, because so many times I tell you this is literally nothing that I talk about with people that I know.
Oh, sure it is.
No, it really isn't.
That's a shame.
Ever.
It's a shame.
It really isn't ever.
That's a shame.
Occasionally,
What do you guys talk about? Boys?
No, nobody talks about boys.
No, you don't talk about boys or politics?
Usually, like people's jobs
Cars?
and if
Cars?
they hate their job. Like
What job do you hate?
I don't. My friend is coming into town, and that's why she's.
So
coming
you go to
back
Starbucks
home.
and you talk about how much you hate their job?
We don't go to Starbucks either. So just
Why don't you go to
start
Starbucks?
that with that.
Where do you go?
We don't go to Starbucks.
Where do you go?
Maybe we go to dinner somewhere.
Dinner.
Okay.
Okay, you go to dinner and you talk about how much they hate their job.
We talk about how much she hates her job, and then I try to give her advice on what she should
So
do
it's
for her
2
job.
hours of advice on how you should like your job?
Well, not like it, but if you don't like it, quit it.
Does she pay you for advice?
I know.
She does not pay me for advice, but I am more.
You're the soothsayer.
I'm more. She's very in the realm of how much money you're making and how much property you own and that kind of thing. And
She's
I
materialistic.
am more. Are you happy?
Oh, there you go.
Do you go to work happy? Is your day pretty chill? Like, to me, that's winning. So I feel like
You
she
realize
bounces
money
things-
buys happiness, right?
I feel like she bounces
It
things
sure
off of me
does.
because I
Just
can keep her.
absolutely.
I'm the opposite.
Okay, what town is she moving from?
She's not moving back. She's just coming visiting. She
Oh,
lives in
okay.
Alaska.
So you mean to tell me Angela Sharp, as smart as you are, you never bring up anything like,
Nope.
man, never?
Never.
Why?
Nope. Why would I?
Lance says that Angela likes to talk about Trans Ams and the men that drive them and fix them.
Men that drive them.
I don't know. That's what Lance says. He's just joking, I'm
okay,
sure.
let's hope.
What's wrong with a man that drives a Trans
Well, I mean,
Am?
I'm not
don't-
talking about any man who drives a Trans Am. I'll talk about a Trans Am, but I know a lot of women who drive Trans Ams as well.
But it's mainly men that drive Trans Am.
No.
Really?
Well, I'll let you know. I'm going to Firebird Fest in a couple weeks.
Take pictures.
So I'll
Take
let-
pictures.
Firebird Fest
What
is
is-
coming up.
What is Firebird Fest?
Go to firebirdfest.com. It's like a 4 or 5 day event. I can only go on the Saturday, but it's various events where people who have Firebirds gather and they
Where is this
show
being
up.
held?
The Saturday one is in Red Bud, Illinois. So that's
Yeah,
the one I'm
baby.
going to, but I think there's
Red
others a little
Bud,
bit closer
the
to
Metro
us.
East.
You know who she goes to dinner and talks about is how much of jerks we are.
Of course. There you go.
Well,
I
let me
mean-
tell you about my jobs.
That could
The one
come
in the
up.
morning is the one in the morning is I got 2 jerks, 3 jerks if we count Chris.
Well, so she's receptive to you.
Yeah, well, I'm just the opposite, right? So I think I kind of help balance, keep your sanity. If all you hang out with people is people who care about what they're making monetarily, then that makes you start to believe that is what you need in order to be successful.
How do you have a friend that lives in Alaska?
I lived in Alaska. Alaska's
a
a state. It's a place.
It's a state.
Angela Huddy worked one of our meteorologists worked in Alaska.
Yeah, I mean,
I just sit on the
haven't
top.
been.
On the,
It sounds miserable when she talks about the cold and the
Did
dark.
she move there for a job?
She moved there originally because she loved Alaska. Then she came back to Washington, D.C. Then she moved back to St. Louis, and now she's in Alaska for the third time. But this time she found a nursing job in Alaska.
if you could on this show, and this is a fair question.
Okay.
If Vic says, I'm not saying anything, Angela, you're going to produce this whole segment, what would you want to talk about on The Edge, which, again, is supposed to be like just going to a Starbucks and just rapping
I mean,
over
the stuff
coffee?
that I talk about is more like metaphysical stuff. Like,
Okay.
we had talked about that
The time continuum.
That, we talked about the lady who claims she could talk to people who have passed.
Okay.
I find that very interesting, right? So I would be more into that realm. That is the kind of stuff that I talk about. The law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about.
Mhm.
So if you want positivity in your life, don't listen to this show, basically, because we don't talk about anything positive. Right?
Actually, well, we do. We talk about truth.
Okay, and I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah.
And so,
And this isn't putting Angela on the spot.
No, it's not.
A lot of people like truth. A lot of people,
And facts.
and facts,
Yeah.
and things like that.
And
a lot of
people don't.
want
Yeah.
that, and a lot of people don't. So I'm the don't. I think for the most part, right?
Mhm. Have you ever wanted to do radio in your entire life?
I did radio, and
But
I
what were-
loved every part
I
of
think
it.
you forget.
What? No, did you? No,
I loved every part of radio.
I never wanted to do radio.
I have two.
I never
radio-
did.
I did WIL, which is a country radio station. So that was fun. I could talk about, Jason Aldean posted what he ate yesterday. Like, you can make that stuff kind of fluffy and fun, right?
Mhm.
I talk about sports with Reed Lowe. Also
Mhm.
can be fun. Reed gets sidetracked a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
That's because he's taken a lot of hits to the head.
By the way, can I mention that he didn't know? He does now know what Cinco de Mayo means, but he didn't realize it literally says May 5th in the title of it until he said 2 years ago. So
Well, he's Canadian, right?
He's adorable, though.
Oh, yes, he is. And by the way, today is May the 4th be with you. Tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. There you go. As you bring up Cinco
Are we
de
going to
Mayo.
have margaritas and
Oh, don't get Chris
chips
going
and
on.
salsa
Oh,
in the
no,
studio?
No, that's Chris's. That's his.
no,
that's
you
his
just-
flavor.
You shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't have said it?
Yeah, Cinco
I
de
feel
Mayo.
like that would be great.
Cinco de Mayo.
We could have
You shouldn't have said that.
margaritas.
He's right behind you, by the way.
chips and salsa. Oh, is he coming? Sorry, didn't realize you were back there. Let me switch the camera.
Oh, man, you are listening to The Edge 100.7 The Viper on Facebook. Share the show. Eric Johnson's here, Chris Knight, Angela Sharp. I'm Vic Faust from Fox 2. Blues play tonight. Big game, pivotal game. 8:40 about the time. Cardinals play a day game in Kansas City today. That's a 12:10 or 12:45. I can't remember. It's a day. All I know is it's around lunchtime. I do know that as I'm looking. So hopefully they can get back to track on what everything is going on there. Also, be nice outside when it comes to this road rage stuff. We've talked about
tell me
it.
about that because I didn't know, and that's where we cruise Lindbergh just this Saturday.
What, Ronnie's Plaza, the area
yeah.
over there. Yeah. Okay. So we got updates yesterday. They were shooting, and we're like, "You're shooting at Ronnie's." You're like, "What?" At Ronnie's Plaza,
Okay.
not Ronnie's
The theater.
Cinema. But is it Ronnie's Cinema? Or is that the theater in the plaza?
Yeah, so the plaza is, basically it's Ronnie's Plaza because Ronnie's the biggest thing in there, but there is like an ice cream shop, a doctor's office. There's another restaurant, Three Kings maybe. There's also 54th Street Grill.
Fridays.
All Fridays. They're all right in that same.
Well, business owners at a spa there, the Season Spa and Salon,
Forgot about them. They are also there.
they said they heard a pop, pop, pop. So they said they locked the doors really quick. Turns out that there were two guys that were in a fight, road rage incident. Shots were fired.
In the parking lot?
Yep, nobody was hit. Several St. Louis County police officers showed up. They said that the drivers were in that incident, and it culminated with shots being fired on the plaza parking lot right next to the spa. Just a Tuesday afternoon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what's most scary is that you don't know what somebody else is capable of. I think we've all, been driving when somebody cuts you off. And if you're in the wrong mood to receive that, you might, flip them off or get angry or, whatever. But you don't know what the other person is capable of. And that's what scares me.
Yeah. Especially going down 70 these days.
No joke. 70. And then this 270, once you get from 70 on to 270, also a little nightmare.
And one thing I'm noticing a lot, and I'm not playing, I'm not trying to be silly, I'm not trying, and this goes out to whoever's managing St. Louis or St. Louis County, wherever it is, I'm noticing a lot of, because Missouri MoDOT will not fix these potholes on Highway 70. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not. I'm seeing a lot of cars on the side of the road with blown tires. I've seen 2 semi-tractor trailers with blown tires on Highway 70 in the last 2 weeks. And I think it's almost like you have to sign a letter saying you understand the risk of driving down 70 now. Why do they never fill these potholes, Vic? Why does MoDOT seems like it would be like, you can't go 80 miles an hour on this highway anymore?
There's that one eastbound 70 kind of near the exit for, I guess, the Walmart there.
Yes.
That is huge.
Yes. I mean, it's almost like we need some kind of a social media page to say, please watch out for lane 2 just past Zumbel or
wherever it is. Yeah, exactly. Because now I'm used to it. So typically that's the lane I drive in, not the fast lane, the one right next to it. And that's where that pothole is. And now I remember, and I'm like, oh, that giant hole.
Yeah.
And then I swerve
and then
over.
Every time I go down that, I think of $153 million stipend of cash, $153 million stipend of cash. Somebody fix the damn potholes, please.
I couldn't agree with you anymore.
It's unbelievable. It's really one of the most unsafe things in St. Louis is driving on these highways. It really is.
And the other topic that came up that was kind of big out there, where President Biden was starting to get ripped nationally because of a comment that he made. No, well, basically because parents are upset because he said that students are teachers' children.
Oh, whoa.
He's like, we do not co-parent with the government. Yeah. Biden came out and said this, and yesterday became a huge, huge issue. He says, quote, you have heard me say it many times about our children, but it is true.
Yep, go on.
They're all our children, and the reason you are Teachers of the Year is because you recognize that. They're not somebody else's children. They're like yours when they're in the classroom. So Moms for Liberty came back and said that's just false. We're willing to partner with our schools and teaching the children, but we do not co-parent with the government. Really? And every parent has the right to direct the upbringing of their children.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I can follow along as far as like you should try to love and protect the child while they're in your school as you would if they were your own, but it's still the parents are still the parents of this child.
It's concerning. It is, and it's like, you're right, Angela. Some of this stuff is so dark and dismal that you just don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But I feel like since, there's people that listen to this show, we are kind of the megaphone. If it wasn't for this show, yes, in my opinion, that story about the Wentzville High School would not have been leaked enough to get to Channel 2 News to be a popular story in the state of Missouri, or at least in our region. And I feel like there's these,
or to Chris first,
or to Chris, exactly,
to Fox. That's how the news stories go. You got to know about them.
Exactly, you have to know about them.
I agree that you have to know about them before they can come to light.
That's why I keep thinking The Edge. We've done this a few times now. There's been a few stories that we've actually broke on this because we're not KMOX. We're not afraid to actually talk about stuff like this.
More than a few over the 2.5 years.
97.1 won't even talk about some of this stuff. If you're a talk radio station, and that's what I'm saying. It's just, this is not a really overly produced show. We just kind of rap about this stuff. So I think it is important.
I do enjoy that portion of the show.
I do think it's important around here.
By the way, Todd says it's Teacher Appreciation Week, Eric, and he'd like to thank all the teachers out there. Just to make sure we get that.
Me too. There. I absolutely would as well. And I believe if they do a good job, Angela, they should make $100,000 a year. If you do a good job and you take my kid from learning this to the end of the year learning that, and they are on track to graduate with honors or whatever, that teacher should make $100,000
Well, yeah,
a
that
year.
sounds great in principle.
Why
I mean,
can't
there's some really great teachers.
Yeah, but
And
there's
they're
some really bad
teachers as well?
Yeah. I mean, I went to school, so I went to school not only to be a teacher, so I met the people that really were going to school not because they had a passion for teaching, but they wanted their summers off. And I also went to
right.
school as a child who knew that my first grade teacher in particular, she must have been tenured. She did not care about a thing.
Right.
It was
right.
here's a worksheet, here's a worksheet,
Preach.
here's a video, and then there's a worksheet,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then I knew my third grade teacher who went out of her way to make sure that we learned stuff, and she did it in a fun and exciting way. So it kind of all depends, right?
I would love to offer this up for suggestion as I become the mayor of St. Louis, Missouri. I would like
You
to
have
offer.
to move first.
I'm going to have a P.O. box
Where you-
downtown.
where you gonna- yeah,
Don't worry
no,
about
you're
that.
gonna
I don't. I think they're going to check. You're going to
They
have to
do check.
move down there.
I'll live in Tent City. Here's what the deal is.
Really? Okay.
I don't think that can be your address, though.
Well, they'll deliver me mail somewhere. Here's the deal. I think teachers, and I'm not kidding about this, should have the ability to have a commission or to advance their pay.
You've said this.
I just, it seems logical to
But
me.
yeah, it seems logical. However, as
Here's the however.
as Angela brought up to you, there are many factors that go into that, many of which are outside of the teacher's control. Home factors, kids' participation, showing up for school, things of that nature.
How many kids are in
So
your class? Right
it's-
now, they've been talking about how there's
yeah, it sounds
a
great in
shortage
principle.
on a
It
whole
does. I
bunch of
agree with you.
teachers.
It'd be great,
Mm-hmm.
but
Can you imagine trying to teach 45 kids in your class? Because as we get teacher shortages, I think right now most schools, most classes, like public school wise, are into the 30s. If they keep having shortages of teachers, you're going to have a class of 40 kids.
Jeff Nichols brings up a great point from the Facebook line. Education will never change as long as its budget is based on property taxes.
Yeah.
You're automatically setting up low-income areas for failure. Plus, you have unions that aren't going anywhere, Eric. I promise you that.
I understand.
Never. It will never change.
We'll-
we will fail as a society before education as we know it changes.
Okay. Again, Vic, I'm
sorry. Don has just given you his apartment. His apartment in Soulard is empty. You may use that as your address.
Only for Mardi Gras. Thank you.
Oh, it's taken over Mardi Gras. Sorry.
Yeah, but you can use that as your address when
Yeah.
you run for
Or you'll
mayor.
be sharing it with 100 of your closest friends.
And that too is fine. Trust me, I get it. I feel like we're going to solve some problems on this show this year. I feel like the Edge is going to come through, and we are going to help the parents take back the education system, and we're going to make sure that our kids are number one in the world. And we're going to start right here in downtown St. Charles, Missouri.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Angela, are you with me?
Glenn Thompson
I'm
says
here
Wonder
for the,
Twins.
I'm here
Wonder
for the ride.
Twins.
I'm here for the ride, Eric.
We're going to
we
bring.
needed
We're going to
we
shed
needed
some
the
light.
music in the background. That was funny.
We're going to shed some light
We
on
need
this.
some of the inspirational music behind
I'm
Eric.
going to start Eric and Angela's private school adventures.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and we're going to educate, and they will know how to figure out the circumference of a circle when they leave high school.
Well, as Donna said,
Can we
you
change
can't be
the
like,
title of it because it
Yeah.
sounds kind of dirty?
What do you want, Angela and Eric? That doesn't fly.
No,
No,
Does
no,
the private school adventure
keep-
sounds kind of?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it mixes in so well with what's going on today.
It kind of
Glenn Thompson says, I know several public school teachers who make over $100,000 a year and only work 9 months. And Eric, I was going to bring this up because I know 3 teachers who do make $100,000 or more a year, and they only work 9 months a year. And they've got
fine.
And they've got the retirement, and they're covered in a lot of areas. It's not everybody, as we know. The starting salary for a teacher in the state of Missouri right now is the lowest in the country at $25,000
We're going
a
to
year.
fix that. The education from the Facebook line. Boom, nailed it. Spelled EDGE. The education system, Angela.
No, I heard you the first time. Thank you though for clarifying.
Mom, did you hear me?
That came from Facebook. That didn't come from me. See, we're a team
like
around here.
Robert Peterball brings up a great word, tenure. Absolutely.
And that's how. I mean, some
10 years
teachers-
over.
Some
10 years
teachers
over.
do great with that, but then there's other teachers that you can tell are phoning it in.
Tenure is officially over.
Jay alleges that if schools ever got the lottery money that they were supposed to get, the budget and pay problems would not be as severe. I don't know. I don't have any basis for that right now in regards to studying where the money's going.
Tenure is kind of like a teacher working on the honor system. We think you've done a great job for the last 20 years. We think you're gonna keep it up.
And there are some teachers who do
Right.
do a great job and do keep up doing a great job. And there are other teachers that are like,
Oh, this is great. John Parker says, yeah, let Eric run. Then he will figure out how city government actually operates. It's not about what you want. It's about what you can get done. And that's why I always try to be Eric's sounding board or check and balance.
You guys got bad attitudes.
I knew that was coming.
You think Elon Musk gives a damn how?
Nope, you're right.
You think he cares how St. Louis government works? He'll come in there and rip it apart and make St. Louis an amazing
Elon
city.
Musk.
he hasn't caused
Musk,
any drama recently.
Elon would be
surprised.
run out of the city of St. Louis.
No, he would not.
He hasn't
Okay.
caused any drama lately. I mean, his name has been brought up in the Johnny Depp thing a bunch of times, but he hasn't himself caused any
He didn't
commotion
He
recently.
didn't come and testify.
No. They just brought up, I think, his text message or, yeah, somebody's text message about him.
Well, just put Kevin goes, Eric Musk.
I'm just saying, guys. This is
Elon has also been very busy. As I told you, he is can't miss Twitter material. He is incredible on Twitter.
I haven't seen him in a
You guys
minute.
need to follow him.
I follow him.
He
but I
said his next order of business, by the way, since Elon was brought up by Eric, he's going to buy Doritos and he's going to fill the bags full.
Is that really what he said?
Yes. Dude, I'm telling you.
You know,
He-
John
He is awesome.
John, in his defense, he does know, John Parker, he does know how it works down there. And he brought up a good point. The Board of Aldermen are probably an impedance to everything. But that's the point. You need to be charismatic to bring those people out and say, look, together we're...
You don't get it.
Oh, my
Eric.
God.
You
You
don't
know what?
get it.
I've had enough
Recently-
of this show
You don't
today.
get it.
I'm serious.
Recently, he said that Twitter will always be free to the casual user, but maybe there should be a slight cost for commercial and government users. I dig that.
Yeah, I saw that. He tweeted that yesterday.
I dig that.
I like it, too.
He's just toying with people.
It's cat and mouse
Well,
stuff,
because
man.
when you have so much money, when you can just screw with people like that, you know how much fun that's gonna be. I'm just sitting here on my phone like you can't do anything with me.
And you know what?
I'm going to buy Doritos.
So,
I'm going to fill the bags.
You guys
up.
got to go. You guys, and I'm sure Angela and Vic already know about this. Go Google a picture of Elon Musk with his face busted in as he's holding Amber Heard's hand. And it.
Oh, I saw it.
Did you see
Yes,
that?
yes,
I thought it was
did.
fake though.
No, that's
it was
not
real.
true.
It was real.
I'm almost positive it was real.
So
Oh,
she
I thought
beat
it was
the,
like a doctor.
She beats the
thing.
hell out of all the guys.
Well,
or she did.
Probably
All right.
has some issues.
I kind of
guys.
feel like that's what Angela would do. That's why she doesn't go out with anybody. She just beat the crap out of her boyfriends.
I gotta
think
tell
I
ya,
think you're tough. I think you're
I'm tough, so you better not come at me because
I'm not
I,
ever
I will-
coming at
I
you.
will put you down.
She's
is what
got
I'm saying.
she's got the boots on.
Like if some guy came
I'm
at
done.
me,
I'm
like
done
if
with it.
some guy came at me, like
I'm
he
done
was
with
gonna try
this.
to move me,
I'm done.
I would tell you
boots-
he would fall.
I'm
Those
I'm
boots
joking.
would go where the sun don't shine.
That's right.
I'm joking.
Eric
I ain't
Johnson,
scared.
Chris Knight,
I don't want
Andrew
none of that.
Sharp. None of us do. I'm Vic Faust. Back with more of The Edge right after this.
The Edge Morning Show.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's fun. Remember me? Miss you, buddy. Look, I know it's been a minute, but we gotta get the fam back down to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They've got 3 of the top 5 water coasters in the world. Remember getting soaked on Mammoth and Cheetah Chase? Or screaming down monster roller coasters like Thunderbird and Voyage? Tickets are still at holidayworld.com. Oh, the kids want to say something. Go ahead.
So you're not gonna want to miss this. The deals at Kohl's right now are beyond epic. I just got some new bath towels for $3 each. Found the cutest kids' outfits for only $5. And and got myself some tees and tank tops for just $7. But the best part? You don't need any coupons. Can earn Kohl's Cash and get it all with free store pickup. Looks like April showers bring the flowers and the savings. Select styles. Sale ends April 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
My daughter used to be a shining star. I would tell her, there's nothing you can't do. Now, it's like living with a stranger. It happens so fast. Centerpoint Hospital, real help for addiction and hope for a bright future.
If a young person dear to you is facing substance use, the Changing Point at Centerpoint Hospital now offers adolescent treatment solutions with detox, 4-week residential, and outpatient treatment. The Changing Point for Adolescents at Centerpoint Hospital. Hope for a bright future.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FALL.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ signature stack burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We got to get out of here. Thanks again. What an awesome show again today. Appreciate everybody taking it in. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. Happy hump day. I'm trying to get through. Life's a garden, dig it. There you go, Angela.
I can follow that. Let's go. Let's go.
You can be edgy in the morning and still be happy in the afternoon.
I'm trying. So what I usually do is I go home and I take a little 30-minute nap, and that's like my restart. So this was like a false start, and then I go take my nap.
This
and
is
then
like a backfire.
It's like a false start.
It was a nightmare, a bad dream.
False start. Take my 30-minute nap, and then I'm like, good to go.
I like the false start. Chris, how you doing over there? I told you privately, but awesome job on the radio today. Somebody's got to punch all the buttons.
And it's a lot harder than it looks, y'all.
There will be no Patron tomorrow, by the way.
Don't bring in Patron.
Listen, okay, but can we at least have chips and salsa?
Friday and Sunday there will be.
Cha-ching. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Well, that's after hours.
Eric Johnson, Chris and I, Angela Sharp, I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Have an awesome day, guys. We'll see you tonight for Fox 2 News at 5. I haven't worn...
Yellow!
No, I did yellow last week.
Oh.
What'd you do last night?
Last night I did...
We requested green, I believe.
Great, you said green.
Yeah. Did you do it?
Hell yeah, I wore green.
All right, then. Blue?
Yeah, I'm going blue tonight. It's blue turn. Royal blues. I'm gonna wear. Oh, I'm gonna wear the suit Chris likes. He was like, Vic, I like you, and you wear that blue suit.
There you go.
Chris said you have this blue suit that matches the set. So watch that. Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.
There you go. Have a great day. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow, 8 o'clock.
Are we finished? Done. So what? That means the show's over? Yep. It's over. Over. Goodbye.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Goodbye.